Hey, I'm Ben,
And I'm Evan.
and welcome to Coffee Break.
Hello, and welcome back to Coffee Break. Thank you all for listening, for tuning in, and for all the support you've given us over these last few episodes. We've really had a lot of fun doing them, and can't wait to make some more. So for today's episode, we want to start off with a really interesting kind of topic we've been researching that, Ben's been researching more than I have, and he kind of wants to gauge my reactions on this.
Yeah.
So, Ben, what do you got for us?
So I'll give you a little bit of backstory. So I was on Twitter like you do, one day in the morning, and I was really trying to find something really funny that brightened up my Monday morning. And I'm not gonna lie, Twitter never, it never fails me. I go on Twitter, and the grossest thing I think I've ever seen in my life popped up. This is just random, by the way. It has nothing to do with what we're going to talk about today. Just something I just want to get out off my chest because it's weird. Say it. Okay, I'll just go out and say it. It says, Sour Patch Kids cereal coming to stores in December. Walmart and Target.
No.
Now,
Just no.
now, I don't know about you. I usually use, I put milk in my cereal.
Yeah.
And usually when you drink milk, you don't want it to be sour.
No. Another thing is when you're eating cereal and eating candy are both terrific things, but they should be terrific things that are on their own.
Yes,
Please,
I agree.
Whoever this is.
Well, this also sparked some interest in me, and I actually ended up looking up other crusty cereals that really never made it.
The weirdest ones you could find.
Oh yeah, dating back to 1980. So,
well, what do you got for us today?
This will be fun. Here's kind of a gross one. They're called Wackies.
Are they now?
Yes, they are. And so basically, picture this: Lucky Charms. But the only marshmallow there is, it's just a banana marshmallow.
Does it taste like a regular Lucky Charms marshmallow?
No, it's all banana flavored.
Oh, no.
Now, I don't know about you, but I dislike the taste of bananas.
Okay.
Especially in milk. But yeah, we have some other ones. Sir Grapefellow, which is...
I don't want to be introduced to him particularly.
Yeah, me neither. I didn't want to, but when I looked it up, it was kind of self-explanatory. It's grape Cheerios.
Okay, all right. Well, actually, I'm not entirely grossed out by that one, and I'll tell you why. Sir Grapefellow, the name that's pretty off-putting to begin with, so they could have done a little bit better in that department. But I don't know if you remember these, but you remember Fruity Cheerios?
Yeah.
And they came in that red box, and
Yeah.
It was basically like knockoff Fruit Loops, except they were advertised to be healthier. I've seen cinnamon Cheerios, apple Cheerios, frosted Cheerios, but I guess it's an off-brand. That's why they have to call it something as disgusting as Sir Grapefellow.
Yeah, I picked that name mostly because of I picked the cereal because of the name. Well, the next one is, it's kind of gross. OKs.
Okay, elaborate on that.
I'm not going to lie. The only reason why I picked it is because there was a Scottish bodybuilder on the front.
Okay.
Had nothing to do with cereal. Didn't even have cereal on the box. It was just a picture of a Scottish bodybuilder.
And this is something you thought I have to investigate.
Yes. Okay.
Do you have any more info on what OKs are?
They're not on the market anymore.
I figured as much.
I got a couple more. Magic Puffs filled with cream. Now, let me tell you why this was really gross to me. They said, these things lasted maybe a week because they would get so old and you would bite into them and it just would be nasty cream.
Oh,
so
it probably solidified if it was in the raw. Well, yeah, because if you're putting actual cream in something, it's not going to have the shelf life you'd hope.
Yeah, it was bad. and then here's a really gross one. This is probably the grossest one, if you ask me.
All right.
Going back to the banana theme, this was Kellogg's Corn Flakes with instant banana. Now we're all familiar with instant oatmeal. You just add water and
Instant
boom.
oatmeal, instant coffee.
Instant soup as well. Not bananas.
With instant banana. What makes it instant? Like,
You
is it
add
when you pour
milk.
the milk?
You add milk, and it
bananas-
instantly just becomes little banana puffs.
From what do they start as?
You take a guess. I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know, dude. Like it's
Well,
just can't wait to eat my Kellogg's cornflakes with
instant
banana.
Kellogg's, Kellogg's has had some success over the years, but I guess, any company has to have its failures.
Yeah.
As you were talking about this, I just remembered a cereal that I know is not on the market anymore. You ever eat Honey Bunches of Oats?
I actually very much enjoy.
I do as well.
Very good.
A few years ago, they came out with this thing. It was like probably a spin-off of Honey Bunches of Oats, and it was called, it just said Honey, but it had that logo, Honey Bunches of Oats, in the corner, and it was called Just Bunches. It was just those little
Little granola.
yeah, just the little granola things in there, and it was amazing.
Kind of like the raisin brand, like just raisins. It's just a big old box of raisins. It's just bran. It's just cornflakes.
Kellogg's brand.
Okay.
All right.
I'll end with the last cereal. This is just
Okay.
for like I don't like the whole '90s kids thing.
Yeah.
I think it's a little overhyped.
Well, maybe we're a little biased for that because
Yeah.
both of us were born in 2000.
Yeah. Nickelodeon slime cereal.
Oh.
Yeah, make it what you want. It's gross.
Well, I remember Nickelodeon slime, like on all the TV shows.
Yeah.
How was that? It was like Gak?
It was like no. No, it was kind of like little stars, and it was like green, and it was really like you just don't want your milk to be anything green. You just I'm
man.
fine with it. Like Cocoa Puffs, those are smack.
Well, because
dude.
it just turns into chocolate milk.
Yeah. Hey, I'm not gonna lie. Like full disclosure, I don't think I've had cereal when it's not at a hotel and like in the little boxes. That's all you're given. You know, I haven't had cereal.
I don't
in
eat
forever.
breakfast usually.
We're high schoolers. We don't.
Yeah, I
Coffee.
sleep until till the moment where if I sleep 1 minute more, I'm going to be late and get a detention probably. So breakfast is a very seldom a part of my day, but I don't know. Maybe if these were still around, I could investigate some more.
Yeah. So yeah, I just really wanted to share that. It's kind of silly, but
Hey, Twitter never fails.
it doesn't. So another thing we're going to talk about today, we are just going to talk about a couple other things.
We had this idea the last time we were recording, when we were just kind of brainstorming. We were thinking about how a bunch of movies have been getting, like old classic movies have been getting remakes lately or in the past few years.
Well, also like musicals as well. Like it's like coming up. You know, they have that Aladdin musical that's coming up, and like the live action. And I'm not really digging the live action stuff, man. Like, yeah. So like, Aladdin's coming out, and Robin Williams I know both me, Flagel, is just a huge inspiration to both of us, and I don't think you can do what Robin Williams does. But saying that, I saw, the Broadway version of Aladdin and knocked my socks off. Like that guy was amazing, but Robin Williams, you're not going to be.
The problem is, I think when you're trying to remake something that's already been done like that, when you have a classic actor that's very famous with a lot of people, is that well, for starters, when it's a live theater production, it's much easier for an audience to take that as it is and see, well, this is what I'm seeing right in front of my face. But too often when there's a movie, when there's like a live action version of something that's just filmed and then shown on a TV special or something, people, their brains will automatically compare it to what they know. So if you see a live action, whatever it may be, you think, oh, well, I remember I like the movie better. I like this actor doing it better.
Yeah. So basically, I just brought us to the point of like kind of like judging remakes and original movies.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, this could range from here. I'll just give a couple off the top of my head.
Okay.
Jumanji.
I did not see the remake of Jumanji.
The remake of Jumanji. I'll tell you something. the cast list of that show was absolutely insane. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of the Rock, Dwayne Johnson, but I love Jack Black.
Oh yeah.
I think Kevin Hart can be funny, and he was pretty funny in this. I told you The Rock was in it. It was whack. It seemed like it was a completely different story though. Nothing to do with the original Jumanji.
Well, that could be good though. That could be a good thing.
But then again, going back to Robin Williams, and
of course,
he just made the first one, which was made in 1995. Made it 20 plus years later. I would always say the original Jumanji will always be better than the new Jumanji.
Probably. Well, what's another one you had?
Let's see. We got the one that I'm not too big on, but I know a lot of adults are on to this stuff. Planet of the Apes.
Okay, I saw one of those a few years ago.
Yeah,
and I didn't think it was that bad. I mean, it was a little bit like it's of course kind of an odd thing to see, like an odd concept, but like overall as a movie, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, and I'll tell you something weird. Not weird, but it's crazy. The first Planet of the Apes came out in 1968.
Really?
Which is like very long ago. Like
50 years, man.
Yeah, it's 50 plus years. It's crazy how like we made it look so much better, because I don't know if you've seen pictures of this 1968 version, but it is like puppets.
Yeah.
And now it's
sure.
like,
I mean, like, because when you watch King Kong, like the original King Kong from the
bad.
30s, I mean,
revolutionary though. The thing is, it changed film forever.
They did what they could with the resources that they had, but we've really been like, that's something good that they can do with these remakes, is they can make things, use the technology we have now, make things look more real. But I would say when I was thinking about this whole topic, the one that first jumped into my mind was the remake of RoboCop from, I think it was 2014. Now, I saw this movie in theaters, and while sure, the technology is much better than the original RoboCop from the 80s, RoboCop is a movie that should have been left in the 80s, because that remake was horrific.
I've heard. I never saw RoboCop, but I've heard that it was...
I mean, it was just... Like, Samuel L. Jackson had a few little like mixes, like he had a few little monologues and some like interjections in there. He was the only reason I stayed in that theater. Honestly, I mean, because he was Samuel L. Jackson and he was hilarious. But that movie in itself was horrible. And it's just one of those where it just didn't really stand the test of time. It really didn't stand up to the 30 years it's been since the original. Where like if you go back and you watch the original one, it's like, yeah, this is an 80s action movie. It's pretty cheesy.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like it's watchable and it's enjoyable for the time period it is and what it is.
Yeah. Another movie that I really have weird thoughts about, and I know that, as juniors at CHA, we have to read The Great Gatsby.
Yes.
And there's a lot of talk in CHA about which movie is the best. I'll even say Miss Schinkel, one of our teachers, is obsessed with the remake of Great Gatsby.
Leonardo DiCaprio?
Because of Leonardo DiCaprio.
Well, if you'll allow me for a second, I'm not going to rant as long as I could about that movie, but I'm gonna give my best example of why I can't stand that remake. The biggest reason right off the bat, and this is the first impression you get, when you see that whole scenery, that beautiful scene of 1920s, like roaring 20s New York, everything going on, you're like, oh, this is amazing. Like, oh, this looks so beautiful. It looks so clean. Like it's made like with all this new technology. And then in the background, you hear Jay-Z. Are you kidding me? They put modern music over some of the greatest music in American history that they could have used over this.
Nothing against Jay-Z, but like, dude, there's a time.
Doesn't belong there.
There's a time and there's a place.
And that's not it.
There's a movie. Yeah.
And I'm going to go on the record and say, I'm going to quote my English teacher from last year, Miss Barron, when she said she thought Leonardo DiCaprio was way too old to play Gatsby. And I'm very much inclined to agree.
Yeah. But it's Leo, and
Like, no, nothing against him
is
as
a
an actor.
beast.
He's a phenomenal actor, but casting wise, I agree that I think he was way too old for that role.
Yeah. Let's go to more of the now. There's a bunch of remakes in the horror scene. Well, we can just skim over
Yes.
it. Like, there's just too much to talk about. Number one, It. Now, I know you've seen it. Have you seen it?
I have.
No, I have not seen it, but I have heard so many good things about the new movie, though.
I enjoyed it very much. I saw it. Carter was with me, and we saw it in one of these like new, like Dolby HD sound theaters,
Like
and
the IMAX kind of stuff.
yeah, the IMAX kind of thing. And they had like these massive speakers all along the walls, and I mean, like the screen was just massive. It was like an IMAX sized screen, and like the jump scares were of course like multiplied a
Yeah.
ton because of that. But I thought they did a really, really good job with it.
Yeah, I've heard it's great. I heard there are some weird parts in that movie though, like the Pennywise dance.
Yeah, the Pennywise dance has become a meme in itself now.
Yes, so I've heard. One of my favorite movies of all time, actually, and two of my favorite actors of all time. You got Gene Wilder and you got Johnny Depp. And I'm
Yes.
talking Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory. Now, I really like Johnny Depp.
Mhm.
You name it. Pirates of the Caribbean, love him. Edward Scissorhands, one of my favorite
Oh, yeah.
movies of all time.
I loved him in Sweeney Todd so much.
He's great. The movie, this is the reason why I love the remake of Willy Wonka.
Okay.
Is I don't even know. Some people don't even think it's a remake. Like I know people who are like, "Wait, that's not original." I'm like, "No, like it is 1978 or something like that. It's
It was
really
early
old."
70s. Well, it was based on a book.
Yes,
Yeah, I mean it was a book originally.
now it's a show, and
Yeah.
it's actually showing in Cincinnati. I'm pretty sure right now. So, good stuff. But yeah, the thing is, Johnny Depp made him seem creepy,
Yes.
which I loved
Well-
so much. And they also showed a more background story to him and his childhood, which I really liked as well.
Well, I think like with people with the remake, it's either they love it or they hate it. Because I've heard people say like, "Oh, Johnny Depp ruined Willy Wonka." Johnny Depp like,
No.
but
Different take on it, dude. A
I
remake.
agree. I agree that he made him creepy, but I think Gene Wilder did a little bit too. Not
He's a weird guy, though.
not in the same way, but I think I saw one thing about it was an interview of Gene Wilder talking about that role. And what he said is, if you anybody has ever seen the first Willy Wonka movie from the 70s, there's the first time Gene Wilder comes out as Willy Wonka, he comes out walking with a cane and he's got this really bad limp and he's walking out very slowly, approaching all the kids. And as soon as he like gets up close to them, he sort of is acting like he's falling over, like he kind of loses his cane, and then he just does this really quick little somersault, then like jumps up and he can walk fine. And like this may seem just like an interesting thing about like this is just this weird character doing this, but what Gene Wilder said in this interview is that that was not written. That was something that he wanted to do, and that was something that he demanded of the director that he do. And the reason he gave was because after that, for the rest of the time I'm on screen, nobody will know whether I'm lying or if I'm telling the truth. Which is a very interesting character choice. And like, I mean, I love both movies, honestly. I've seen both of them a bunch of times. But I respect what both of them did with the character.
Yeah, and the thing is, I don't know if you were in this, but we did Willy Wonka as a show.
Yeah, like when you
here.
guys were in 7th grade or something?
Yeah, 7th grade, and it's just a fun show. I mean, you can do a lot with the show, and you can do. I just really like the movie. Let's take a more stranger, like not really stranger, a more different twist on this. Now, with movies like Star Wars,
Yeah.
Star Trek, they're not really remakes, but they're like kind of remastered.
It's like
if you
it's
get that.
adding to the story, but of course it's taking place in a different time.
Yes, and I would even go to say, I mean, no, I wouldn't say Incredibles. I wouldn't say that. I think
It's not a remake. It's just a sequel.
But like Star Wars, completely different story, completely different plot,
New characters.
Which if you ask me, as a Star Wars guy, I like Star Wars. I really like the new characters, if you ask me, and I think the soundtracks are still beautiful.
John Williams. I mean, I'd probably call him one of, if not the greatest composer alive today.
not gonna lie, I can't name another composer.
Well, we mentioned The Incredibles. My top
That's
two
true.
working today are John Williams and Michael Giacchino.
Yeah.
Both of those guys are phenomenal.
Okay, I do not know his name, but I do enjoy the soundtrack.
Yeah.
But yeah, like the newer Star Wars are great. Also Star Trek as well. I'm not a Star Trek guy, but they did remake Star Trek. Closer like
few years ago.
like 2000, 2010, somewhere around there.
But with the new Star Wars and everything, I mean, that's another hit or miss one. It's the same thing as Willy Wonka. People either say, "Oh, I love it," or they're ruining it. I think they've done a good job so far. I know they did Rogue One and they did Solo, and they've had episodes 7 and 8 right now. If you ask me though, and people, you might get mad at me for this, but I'm gonna say it. I think you let them do episode 9, then I think after that, the main trilogy of Star Wars needs to die.
Yeah, I can agree
I
with
think that should be it.
But do you think that they can make like more solo, like kind of like a solo film, like the Boba Fett? They're making a Boba Fett like show, kind of.
Oh, apparently they got canceled. But
whoa,
I
they got
think
canceled?
I think if they want to do more of like the spin-off stories like Rogue One and Solo, that's fine. Just like obviously
That's just Disney.
don't overdo it though.
That's Disney, to be honest. That's just Disney trying to make revenue.
It is. I mean, not that they're bad movies, because I know both
great.
Rogue One and Solo did great.
Yeah.
But I think with those, like, that's fine to do those and like continue like the legacy of that story. But like, don't overdo it. Don't be putting out a bunch of them a year, like just to do it or just to make money. But I really do think that after episode 9, that needs to be it for the main trilogy of Star Wars.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna end this kind of segment that we got. I'm just gonna end it with some upcoming 2019 movies.
Okay.
That you might want to know.
Let's hear it.
Now, one that I know I really like is a movie called Glass, coming out in 2019. And I don't know if you ever saw the movie Split that came out a couple years ago with James McAvoy, maybe?
James McAvoy.
Now, he's terrific. He's absolutely fantastic. I love him. I think he's great. And it's basically that multi-personality kind of thing. And I think it's great. This is suspenseful. It's coming out in 2019. And I'm really excited. January 18th, 2019. So it's coming up, and I'm definitely looking to see that. Lego Movie 2.
Oh, interesting.
Now, funny story about Lego Movie. We actually had to leave Lego Movie because my dad said the stop motion and like not stop motion, but like the movement of the guys were giving him so much of a headache that he had to leave. Now, I loved the movie. I'm not ashamed to say it too. I thought it was a pretty good movie.
I never saw it, but I've heard great things about it.
It's pretty good, dude. But like we had to leave the theater because of like
really,
yeah. My dad, he's a little dramatic, but because he didn't want to see it in the first place. Think about taking your 13-year-old kid to go see.
Right.
Yeah. Another movie is How to Train Your Dragon: The Hidden World. Now, I watched the first one. It was good. Should have stopped.
One shot, like just one shot, one of that.
Yes, one of those that should never have stopped. And something that I really am not on board for. Nothing against Marvel or anything, but I do not like the idea of Captain Marvel, the new one coming out.
Oh, I didn't hear about that.
So it's like the girl superhero.
Okay.
She's a girl, and I think so this is what I feel like Marvel is doing wrong. Now, this is just me. I think they're adding too many things into Marvel. I think they should
see that.
I think they should just stick with the main people. Like, I miss Scarlett Johansson. Like I like Scarlett Johansson in Marvel movies, you know. I like, Hawkeye as well.
Yeah.
I like him. Captain Marvel is just introducing another one.
It's like they've had so much success with like all the Avengers movies and everything coming out that like I would worry they're trying to bite off more than they can chew. Like, if they're just adding more and more characters, I mean, yeah, that's a way for them to just create new stories and new movies and keep things going for the future. But I would worry that their things would just get too convoluted and just too much happening at once. And then they just have all these characters that they really don't know what to do with and have to keep like improvising these story elements around them because they just have so many.
Yeah. Speaking of remake, this just completely caught me off guard. Speaking of Willy Wonka and like Tim Burton coming out with a Dumbo remake.
Really?
Yes, with a really weird cast: Colin Farrell, Eva Green, Michael Keaton, and Danny DeVito.
Okay, I like those last two. But I don't. I mean, I don't know about that. That'll be interesting.
I mean, sure. Like, all right, hit it with us. All right, we'll be down.
I think, okay, I'm going to say this out here. I want to wrap up our talk about movies with this because I don't want to spend too much time on it. But whatever that new, like, animated Pokemon thing is
I
with
knew you were gonna
Ryan
say
Reynolds and those talking plush figures.
Oh, it's so
I don't
gross.
know. I don't know. Just,
Did you see them?
I
They
saw
look
the
so
trailer
gross.
for that, but I don't understand why you need to animate plush figures. Like, you have way better like resources you can do with this, and it's just weird.
It's kind of like if you were to like make SpongeBob more realistic.
Right, if you were to take an actual sponge and animate it to be SpongeBob.
Yeah. And then voice it by Ryan Reynolds. That's just gross. If you were to tell me back when I enjoyed Pokemon, like when I was obsessed with it, that in the future Ryan Reynolds
would be the voice of
Pikachu. the voice of Pikachu. Now Pikachu only says Pika Pika. I'm pretty sure Pikachu.
I guess he has actual dialogue.
He does.
In this.
And only one guy. I'm not for it. Thumbs down from me.
Well, I wish them the best of luck, whatever that is, but count me out of it.
Yes.
To end off today, of course, this Thursday is Thanksgiving.
Yes. Gobble, gobble.
Am I right?
Yes.
So I'd say we end off today with just talking a little bit about our Thanksgiving traditions and what we're thankful for and all this great holiday season stuff coming up.
Yeah. I'll start off first. So what we do in our family is, my dad's side of the family is all Italian. My dad's 100% Italian, and Italians do Thanksgiving different. We do, instead of turkey, we do like pasta, and we do like spaghetti. We'll do a bunch of Italian dishes, and it's weird. You won't see a turkey. You won't see apple cider. You won't see any mashed potatoes, but we do have gravy. But this is the thing. Gravy is not what you think it is. Gravy for Italians is actually just pizza sauce.
So do you have it in the little tiny boat
In
thing
a gravy
with the ladle?
boat.
Yep.
And my grandma will say, "Will you pass the gravy?" I'm like, "Yeah, here." She goes, "Thank you." It's legit just marinara sauce.
Just pizza sauce over top of the pasta.
So we do that. But
no mashed potatoes breaks my heart.
Yeah. And you know what the weird thing is? What at Olive Garden, what do you serve first?
Breadsticks, salad.
And if you're Italian, apparently you eat salad after the meal.
I mean, hey, you got to break the mold, I guess.
My mother does not agree.
I don't either.
It's weird. But yeah, this year we're not doing that. I think we're just staying local because, we got a lot of stuff going on, college stuff, and
what my family like essentially will just do what you think of as a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. The only thing that varies for us is a location. Because last year we had it. Actually, last year was at my grandparents' house. 2 years ago was at our house, and then we've switched between my mom's side of the family and my dad's. But this year we're going to my dad's parents' house, and we usually do stuff. We'll just do it like almost buffet style over there because we got like so many cousins. I think we got like 11 or 12 cousins coming with all the aunts and uncles and everybody. So it'll be a madhouse, but it'll be a lot of fun and it'll be good to see everybody again.
Yeah, it's always good to see the family. So we'll end it off with, have a great, I know we're on Thanksgiving break. I don't know if everybody who's listening is on Thanksgiving break, but, I hope you guys have a great Thanksgiving. Usually Thanksgivings can be chaotic with the family, but hopefully things don't get in the way with that. But yeah, so have a great Thanksgiving.
Yeah, I just end off real quick by saying, it's kind of a cliche to say this, but like take time to appreciate who you got and what you have and what's around you. I mean, like just listen off all like a few things, like for me even, I know I've got I got a great family to go to. I got great friends around me. I got amazing opportunities like doing this podcast right now.
Yeah.
Which is something I never thought I would be doing, but something I've found I've been able to have so much fun with.
Yeah. Yeah. So from all of us at Coffee Break, from all three of us,
Yeah.
we just want to wish you a very, very thankful Thanksgiving.
Yes, indeed. Well, we're going to sign off for this one. Thank you very much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Bye.